The address, yeah, but it's a long one. I mean, it's 5 to 6:33. Yeah,
So,
yeah, all right. Well, I'm happy to write it down.
happy to help.
And then all I have to do is just kind of click and hit stop. Do I need to hit save or anything?
I'm
Or
not
it's just automatically?
It's automatically saving.
Nice. Right. And this has the podium. Yeah, this has everything. Nice. Okay, you can. Hey, have fun, bud. Thanks for coming. See ya.
Sorry, 4452.
I just was like, oh, my phone isn't shut, and then start playing.
Oh, wait a second.
No, I was just like, yes.
Who's the guy who's been keeping her in? Okay, because he's, it's making it hand over fist that his keeping her in, so he's like, and not on her terms and all, but he's happy. I know. He just knows everything. She lives across the street from us, and social development. They're gonna hang her to that media. And he's such a good guy.
Good morning. Thank you for being here this morning. Braving the cold on this Monday morning as we celebrate Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. I'd like to welcome you to St. Vrain Valley Schools and Silver Creek High School. My name is Eric Finestad. I'm the principal here at Silver Creek, and it's a pleasure to welcome you all today. And first things first, we've got some restrooms that are right outside here in the main crescent. If you need to use those, feel free. Martin, for your sponsorship of our refreshments this morning. We're going to welcome at this time Sandra Daniel, and leading us in the singing of Lift Every Voice and Sing. She'll be accompanied by Alex Blocker and Chantel Duhart. Would you please stand and join us?
Lift every voice and sing. the Reverend Robert F. Morris II, who is Associate Minister at Second Baptist Church, for our invocation.
Good morning, everyone. I would be remiss if I didn't provide some context, considering where we are. Silver Creek High School, pertaining to Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s perspective on education. So before I render this prayer, I want to provide a quote, one of his quotes concerning what he felt about education. Dr. King said, "The function of education is to teach one to think intensively and think critically. Intelligence plus character, that is the true goal of education." Let us pray. Most gracious Heavenly Father, Lord, we come before you saying thank you. Lord, thank you for yet another day to gather in your presence, Lord. Thank you for yet another day to celebrate your servant. Lord, we come before you asking for your forgiveness as we have done and said and thought things that were not in your will. But we come to honor those, Lord, those pioneers of education. Lord, we honor Rachel B. Noel, the first African-American woman to hold public office in Colorado, Lord, the first African-American to serve on the Denver Board of Education, and after whom the Noel Resolution Plan was handed to and to integrate the Denver public school system. Lord, we come to celebrate Mary L. Greenwood, who worked tirelessly to desegregate the Denver public school system. Lord, we come before you praising the Elvin R. Caldwell, who was raised in the Five Points neighborhood, graduated from Eastside High School and attended both the University of Colorado and the University of Denver. Was elected to the Colorado House of Representatives, Lord. Those who came before us, Lord, those who paved the way, we thank you for them. And Lord, the one that we come here to honor today, who received his doctorate of philosophy and systemic theology from Boston University, Lord, the one that stood in your stead, Lord, the one that was a pioneer of the nonviolent protests. Lord, allow us to be ever inspired by his commitment to education, enlightenment, and equality. Allow us to keep telling the story of the dream. Allow us to keep producing dream makers, Lord. Allow us to keep placing mile markers, Lord, along this journey. And allow us to keep making milestones in our history. In the precious name of Jesus we pray. And we all sit together. Amen.
I'd like to welcome your very own mayor, John Pike, to the stage, please. Mayor Pike, sir.
I don't know if everybody knows you today, and I think I wanted to introduce you. And Mayor Peck, thank you for joining us and providing just a short review, but Annette, it's an honor. You know, for many years you've been involved with this activity in our community. to share a little bit about Annette James. Is that currently Annette serves as the president of the NAACP Boulder County branch. She's been instrumental in the leadership of local nonprofit organizations, been a driving force in the development of financial literacy for local Black residents, and in conjunction with United Black Women in Boulder Valley. She has recruited Fortune 500 companies to conduct stock trades using Black brokers, holds a utility tab, and helped found the Joan Washington Scholarship Fund, supporting students with scholarships from the St. Vrain Valley School District and Boulder Valley School Districts. Please join me in recognizing and also welcoming Annette.
Thank you. Thank you, Principal Winstead. So back to where we started. So we're happy to have Mayor Peck here. And so I would just like to tell you a little bit about her, but that I'm sure you all already know. So Mayor Peck serves as council liaison to the Historic Preservation Board and the Ohio Fire and Ohio Police Pension Boards. She also represents the city of Longmont by serving on the Denver Regional Council of Governments, the Longmont Economic Development Partnership, Longmont Multicultural Action Committee, Metro Mayor's Caucus, North 287 Coalition, and North Area Transportation Alliance Steering Committee, Northwest Mayors and Commissioners Coalition, Platte River Power Authority. But I heard that the citizens of Longmont believes that Mayor Peck sees this community as her home. And when someone sees a community as their home, they take pride in it and they want to do the best by it. So please join me in bringing Mayor Peck here to the stage to present the proclamation from the city of Longmont for our MLK celebration today.
Well, welcome everybody, and thank you for that lovely introduction. That was really sweet. I know that there are some people that are out of state that have come to this celebration, and I welcome you. What I would like for everyone to take from the celebration today, as well as all of them for the rest of the week, is that we don't just talk the talk, but we walk the walk. And we treat each other with compassion and understanding, and we listen more than telling people what to do, because this is going to be a difficult time that we are going into. So I believe that when we work all together, we can accomplish a lot. So that is my hope that I bring to you. And with that, I'm going to read the council's proclamation. This is a proclamation designating January 13th through the 20th, 2025 as honoring Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Week in Longmont, Colorado. Whereas January 20th, 2025 marks the Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. holiday, on which we honor Dr. King's unwavering fight for the absence of oppression and the presence of opportunity for all who sacrifice to sow the seed for a movement of peace, equality, and justice. And whereas across the nation, in the state of Colorado, and in the city of Longmont, honoring Dr. King has become a week of service within our communities. Events will be held throughout Boulder County, are made possible by the commitment and dedication of many volunteers from diverse backgrounds. The combined efforts of these volunteers are a fulfillment of Dr. King's dream and highlight the importance of the civil rights movement and the need to act. And whereas the Longmont community will gather on Monday, January 20th, 2025 at Silver Creek High School to celebrate and honor the life and legacy of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., and the event theme will be Dream Makers, milestones, mile markers. What's your dream? And whereas Mrs. Carmen Palacio Ramirez, former Director for Community and Neighborhood Resources, City of Longmont, Colorado, has given many years of steadfast support for the Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. programming throughout Boulder County, and her commitment to Longmont youth and families who can live the values of Dr. King's dream. Mrs. Ramirez will be honored at this event for being a gifted leader who, through the years, has proven to be a trailblazer and pace setter, leading with courage, dedication, and commitment for the benefit of Longmont families, citizens, and the community at large. Now, therefore, I, Joan Peck, Mayor, by virtue of the authority vested in me and the City Council of the City of Longmont, do hereby proclaim the week of January 13th through the 20th, 2025, as honoring Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Week in Longmont, and invite all of you to attend this exciting program for Dr. King. I just want to say personally that Carmen Ramirez has just been an incredible asset to our community for years. I know that her retirement is only from the city, because I don't think you can tell Carmen to stop caring about people. So, thank you.
One second. Well, Carmen, I want to welcome you up to the stage. And, you know, Dr. King, he talks about the beloved community, and for many years, you've given of yourself, not only here in Silver Creek and supporting our families, but throughout all of Longmont. And it's a pleasure to welcome you with this honor. And Mayor Peck, thank you so much for selecting such a wonderful person in our community for this honor.
So I want to thank everybody for coming out, especially on this cold day, but more importantly, I want to thank everyone for this recognition, but this really is a recognition of long-standing friendships. And it's a recognition of a circle of community. I am thankful to the many folks for this circle of strength, commitment, courage, stories, and songs. Because this is what happens when you have community. This is what happens when you have the circle of friendship. These are the kinds of gifts that you receive when you are blessed to be within this circle of community that are working for justice and knows what it means to build a beloved community. And so I've been blessed to be part of this. You know, when you're working for justice and where you're working to build a beloved community. So I want to thank everybody that's here. I especially want to thank Silver Creek, Eric, Carrie, Glenda, Madeline, Sandra. Those are just a few of the folks that really have helped throughout the years. Lexmark has been a supporter for so long. I really want to thank them. Hopefully you're here because the work of Dr. King and many others resulted in rights and opportunities that has meaning and may have significantly impacted your life. You're here because of their work might have opened the door for someone to be the first, but also for someone to be the second, the third, the fourth, maybe the 100th. So that's why we're here. Sometimes the work of social justice is exhausting, and there are times you feel like the tide has turned and you're losing rights. Because of those that came before us, today we have many rights and we must continue to work to protect these rights. Over 50 years ago, Dr. King left us with some words to continue to believe and to tell us to get to work. You know, preachers have a way to give you these special messages, but sometimes they have a way to tell us to get to work, right? In their very powerful way. Heartfelt words, but sometimes it's a way of like, get to work. So I wanted to share these words because I think especially on this day and for the next few years, we need to remember that we need to get to work. So I want to share these words, but I also want to say thank you. Thank you for allowing me to be part of this circle where I've received blessings, I've received stories, I've received strength, and I've been part of the community. And that's a gift. And I've done that for over many years. I'm not going to say how long, but many years. But I want to read these words and I want to thank folks. These are Dr. King's words. And when I was feeling like, oh geez, we've lost, I was reminded by him to say, get to work. We are now faced with the fact that tomorrow is today. We are confronted with the fierce urgency of now. In this unfolding conundrum of life and history, there is such a thing as being too late. There is no time for apathy or complacency. There is a time for vigorous and positive action. Thank you.
So we've come to the part of our program to talk about the occasion and purpose. And we were anticipating that Councilwoman Shakita Yarborough would be here to deliver that. We can't find her. But I'll tell you a little bit about Shakita, and I think that Longmont is certainly privileged to have her serve on council. Shakita is the first Black elected councilperson for Longmont City Council, and more recently, she has been instrumental in establishing the Ride Longmont program, which affords Longmont residents an opportunity for vehicular transportation in Longmont for less than $2. So move over Uber. But since Shakita is not here joining us, I would like to see if
Well, can we share some words?
Sure.
You know, I hadn't prepared this part, but I'm always prepared because, you know, my life is filled with teenagers, so I have to always be prepared. Let me talk about these teenagers for a second. You know, let alone my own, and the 1,200 that I get to spend my time with on a daily basis here at Silver Creek. And, you know, when we think about Dr. King, we think about his call to action, getting involved with your community. Now, this is the 14th year I've been here as a principal, and you know, one can say that's kind of like dog years as a principal. When I started this program, I had a lot more hair, I promise. And I know that the fight is long, but it's worth it. And Dr. King committed his life to that, into building this beloved community, into instilling in us that purpose that we need to show up every single day and promote opportunity for kids, for our fellow colleagues, for our community members, for those that are amongst us. And when I think about that, I think about the work that we do here at Silver Creek, and ultimately, you know, in light of Dr. King, you know, we contribute tens of thousands of hours of community service here within our school. And it's one thing, you know, to celebrate Dr. King on a day like this. It's another thing to live your life fully committed to those who are around you and to provide them this opportunity. And that's what I wake up every day to do. And so he's been a driving force, and I've had plenty of mentors along the way that have been involved with this program that you'll hear from later today. But, you know, when I think about our teachers that are here, instilling that in our youth, I know that a few are joining us today. You know, Mr. Skelton, Mr. Blair, with the Unified Sports Program and providing opportunities for kids who may not have had opportunities to participate in athletics or the arts, along with Ms. Torkelson, who's here today. And she runs our Rapid Leadership Group. And they bring freshmen into the school year, and they thrive upon the volunteers of juniors and seniors who create an inclusive community where all kids are welcome within a school. And they have somebody that they can go to as a mentor, as a colleague, as somebody that they can reach out to when they're trying to figure things out here in their high school. I think about Carrie Adams and our Silver Creek Leadership Academy and the thousands upon thousands of hours of community service contributed to nonprofit organizations locally, nationally, and internationally. You know, and the countless successes that her kids have had in this program, and then go on to continue to provide that into their collegiate lives, and now give back to their communities in the same fashion in which was given to them. And so when you create this, and you create this pathway year over year for kids to succeed, have opportunity, not only are they incredibly smart, we could go on all day about their academic accomplishments, but that testament to the idea of education, academics plus character sets them truly apart from their peers, you know, throughout the nation. And so I'm so very proud that on a daily basis we can walk in the footsteps of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. in building a beloved community that supports all walks of life and reaches out to support so many in our community and beyond.
Thank you for sharing how the beloved community works and should work. I'll just share some of my thoughts, but I'll share some things that I talked about at the Boulders celebration of Dr. King yesterday. The ultimate measure of a man is not where he stands in moments of convenience and comfort, but where he stands at times of challenge and controversy. 30 years, dream makers, mile markers, and milestones. We know the occasion, and we also know the purpose. So on this Martin Luther King Jr. holiday, you and me and us, we have an opportunity to learn from the extraordinary life of the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. A king whose leadership and courage inspired a righteous movement, a civil rights movement that achieved more in his short, tragically short lifetime than had been accomplished in the previous 100 years. A groundbreaking movement that was reshaping the moral and social landscape of this nation. A movement so feared by those wedded to the systems of oppression and maintaining the status quo that they, the FBI, deemed Dr. King, the man with whom we're celebrating today, as the most dangerous Negro in the future of the nation. Most of the celebrations honoring Dr. King focus on his unmatched work on civil rights, and rightfully so. But may we, on this MLK holiday, celebrate his intellect, celebrate his character. Let us highlight that he was a profound thought leader on so many areas of life. Let us be reminded that one of Dr. King's most powerful legacy is his challenge to all of us to live a life of purpose. Many of Dr. King's most enduring quotes that you hear during this holiday are rooted in the philosophy of doing for others. Dr. King knew that purpose was the essential element of a complete life, and that life's highest purpose is to serve others. To serve humanity, as Dr. King called to action, to serve humanity is a call to action that we can all fulfill. Dr. King's legacies on the importance of purpose is clearly needed now, as the forecast is for difficult days ahead. But our dismay will be short-lived if we are awake, if we attach to life's highest purpose, if we tap into our indomitable spirits and know that the moral arc of the universe is long, but it bends towards justice. Thank you.
Thank you for your words. We have some acknowledgments that we would like to share today in regards to those who have been so instrumental over the course of many years in supporting this event, but especially for this year, and for your continued contributions. Not only is there an event here at Silver Creek, but there was also an event held at the Jewish Community Center in Boulder, recognizing Dr. King. And so that recognition throughout Boulder Valley does not take place, nor in the St. Vrain Valley, does not take place without the support of the following.
Thank you to NAACP Boulder County Branch. And as Eric said, the JCC, also known as the Jewish Community Center in Boulder, Lexmark. City of Longmont, City of Boulder, Second Baptist Church, Boulder County. Human Relations Fund of the City of Boulder, the Museum of Boulder, B-Surge, which is also Boulder Standing Up for Racial Justice, the Executive Committee for African American Culture Events.
I'd also like to thank our St. Vrain Valley School District, Longmont Multicultural Action Committee, the Longmont Community Foundation, First Congregational United Church of Christ Boulder, Outrageous Baking, Redworks, Boulder Arts Commission, Great Harvest Bakery and Cafe, the Zen family, Silver Creek High School. A very special thank you to Jerry Trotman, who set up our live streaming today, which is searchable on YouTube. You can find our event. To Carrie Adams for your consistent support, and also Jeremy Skelton for your assistance in our sound and lighting for today's event. Thank you very especially to our facilities team, who over the course of the last couple of days has been keeping us warm, snow removal, ensuring that we can host our event this year. And I'd like to appreciate them for their diligence and support in this matter. To all of our wonderful sponsors, and please also help us thank the Martin Luther King Jr. Planning Committee, who's responsible for organizing this event. We have some dignitaries that are with us today, and I know that Jocelyn Gilligan, St. Vrain Valley School Board of Education, is with us today. Thank you, Jocelyn, for joining us. Also, a very special thank you to the St. Vrain Valley Schools Executive Leadership Team, Area 5 Administrator Matt Buckler with us today, Deputy Superintendent Jackie Kakushin, and especially Dr. Don Haddad. Thank you for your support for many, many years for our celebration of Dr. Martin. So this event doesn't happen without a lot of people involved. There's a lot of planning that goes into it. So we're going to get into some presentations and some musical tributes at this time. And I'd like to welcome Alex Blocker and Chantel Ducart back to the stage. Alex Blocker is an artist, producer, activist, and violinist from Chicago. He is also a dream maker. He is a teacher in the Denver Public School System and a nationally touring artist, and sharing the stage with the Trans-Siberian Orchestra, Boombox, and many more. Accompanying Mr. Blocker is Chantel Ducart. She is a Denver-based, Alaska-raised indigenous jazz pianist and singer with roots in the Tsimshian and also Sugpiaq peoples of Alaska. She recently performed at the Kennedy Center in DC with the Indigenous Big Band featuring special artist Esperanza Spalding. Let us welcome Mr. Blocker, Ms. Dupert, as our musical guest and tribute in celebrating dream makers, mile markers, and milestones.
How you doing out there? I don't even know what to say about the state of the world these days, but I know that we gotta keep faith. Dark hues make it quick to close the case. If you see where we started from, you wouldn't even believe that we made it this far. We need more than the prayers and the thoughts. Keep the vibes positive and get lost. Keep my cool and true in my soul. The way you let your eyes, you know. I find it hard to think I froze. He sent you a message, how you know him, yeah. I need someone who can understand this life I'm trying to live. Told the Lord I need a sign and a window seated flight, but I hope you notice I'm still focused, focused, focused on you. Seeing proof that there is love in this world. Seeing proof that I am safe and valued. Know in my mind there are more kinds of love, just as important as a romance. Got things to melody in life, trying to stay spiritually alive, but my love is trying to catch the vibe. Yeah, I still got you on my mind. We got issues to make right, and I'm hoping we can make some time. Yeah, I told the Lord I need a sign and a window seated flight, but I hope you notice I'm still focused, focused, focused on you. And that's real. Thank you for the introduction. No, my name is Alex, this is Chantel. We travel all around the world writing songs and composing songs. I'm from Chicago originally, but Denver is my home now. And we're here to celebrate the continued realization of Dr. King's dream. And I think that we're all pretty similar. You know, we all want a world where the younger people after us have access to education, the less fortunate have access to meals, and creatives have access to art, things of that sort. I'll tell you a little bit more about me, but one thing I want you to know is that while we're here, we're focused, 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 focused on you. And it's a pleasure to be here. Truly an honor to be here. Silver Creek High School, make some noise. How you doing? When Minister Linda asked me to be here, I knew it was personal to me because of my great-grandmother. Her name is Myra Alexander. She was a Chicago public school janitor, but with that, she raised 6 children, one of them being my grandmother. At a point in her life, when Dr. King was giving his speeches, she took a train from Chicago to Washington, D.C. so that she could be in the space when he gave one of his speeches. And that was her first and only time ever leaving the city of Chicago. But while she rode that train, she was interviewed by an author named Studs Terkel. And he found her thoughts so profound that he put her thoughts in a book called Division Street, USA. But to protect her identity, because Chicago was racist, a very racist city at the time, he called her Lois Arthur in the book. And at the end of the month, I'm excited to go back to Chicago to give a performance in her honor and in the honor of the creatives, the writers, and alongside a journalist, a Pulitzer Prize-winning journalist named Mary Schmidt, who I had the pleasure to work with, to continue to make these types of missions and the things that we're doing right here in this room, to continue to point out that those things are important and those things help bring the progress that we all see. And Dr. King was forward-thinking enough to realize that us all coming together brings us to the future quicker than us all staying, secluded in our caves, right? Let's do one more song. So I wrote both these songs. This one's called I Like It. I might make you do stuff, but it's alright. It'll be easy. And this stuff is available everywhere. If you like it, take a listen. I never had a job I liked. I never liked to sell my time. Why I gotta fight so hard? Can't I just have what's mine? In the meantime, between time, it's starting to seem like most come and go for the season. Don't do that, hide your feelings, don't do that. You never hear me, don't do that. Something's missing, don't do that. Optimistic, yeah, like that. So consistent, yeah, like that. No issues, cause you know he can't get this time back. Yeah, I like it when you talk like that. Clap with me. I like it when you talk like that. Yeah, help us out, Shannon. I like it when you talk like that. That's how I get you to talk like that. Hey, that was pretty good. One love. And it feels like nobody else is gonna understand. Yeah. Just remember that I do. I finally have some time to say what's on my mind. Some problems should stay yours. You shouldn't always make them mine. But if they make space for you, you should make space too. That's the balance that's gonna get us through. One more time. You like it when I talk like that. Yeah. You like it when I talk like that. Oh. You like it when I talk like that. That's how I get you to talk like that. I like it when you talk like that.
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 When you talk like that.
When you talk like that.
like it when you talk like that. That's how I get you to talk right back. Happy Martin Luther King Day.
Well, there's nothing like knowing a living legend. And we are privileged here in Boulder County and throughout the state, and I would argue throughout our country, to know the famous, the wonderful, the amazing Minister Glenda Robinson. To do anything for 30 years consistently without a pause is a challenge. To do this work the challenge is exponential, but Minister Glenda has figured out how to do it with such aplomb and seriousness, yet lightness, that brings us all in. Inside your program, there's a small little sheet, and if you go, it's a QR code. All you need to do is scan it if you would like more detailed history of the 30 years, as well as the bill that got the highway designation on 36. But I'd like to say just a couple of things about Minister Glenda, because I think most of you know her, and if you don't, spend 5 minutes. The interesting thing is one of her great nephews refers to her as Harriet Tubman, that is. And it was the most perfect description when I think of her and how I see her. So Glenda is the historian for Second Baptist Church and also for NAACP Boulder County. And the nice thing about learning history from Glenda is when she's telling it, it's as if she had the first row seat at the occasion or at the event, and she invited you to sit next to her. So not only do you get the fact knowledge, but you get the feeling knowledge as well. So I would just say that when Minister Glenda speaks, people listen. So please welcome Minister Glenda Robinson. While we're waiting for the screen to get started. Minister Glenda is the founder of this celebration. She's been doing it for 30 years, and it's been exceptionally enriching and informative and community building. Let's just start with legacy. Talking about your legacy, whose shoulders you stand on.
So I was born and raised in the country of Memphis, Tennessee, and my great-grandfather was born 200 years ago. My great-grandfather and great-grandmother were honored for the work that they did under the Freedmen's Bureau Act, education, farming. They started the first church. That is still going. You know, I always say freedom is not free. And I think that we are able to stand on their shoulders and for the work that they did.
If we know anything about the South, we know that everything was very much separate and very much unequal.
With laws that disenfranchised people and marginalized a whole race. There was the death of Emmett Till. And then there was the Montgomery bus boycott. And there was Brown versus Board of Education. Jim Crow was a system. It was this system that I grew up within. And yet, the beloved community that we always talk about. We had that then. The Apostle Paul talks about the communities coming together. And the one phrase is, and they had all things in common. Whatever you needed, I got it. So I share it with you. And to me, that's the love that we had then, and certainly the love that we need now.
Moving into more of the civil rights realm and your role there, quite a legacy.
Thinking about that period, I started at Lane College. I was pretty popular. I started a little singing group. You know, the Supremes were really popular then. So we entered a freshman talent show. We won the freshman talent show, me and these two girls. All this excitement, and everybody was thinking I was pretty cool. Well, that was September, October, November. December, Daddy says, I need you to transfer. What? Transfer to Memphis State. Leave all my friends behind and all of that. So it was like going from light to darkness. 25,000 white students maybe, and probably about 50 of us. And so they made it clear that they did not want us there. Black Power was just emerging. The students came along and said, we're forming a Black Student Association, BSA. Some of the students were a little more radical than others, and I thought, oh, I need to get involved in this. But things happened so quickly. February of '68, the sanitation workers being treated like animals. They had no rights. They wanted to form a union, and the mayor was like, not here. And I remember that spring like it was yesterday, because it was, you know, sleet, frozen ice, and cold. Black men were not allowed to ride in the cab. Only white men could ride in the cab. They had to swing off the back. Robert Walker and Echo Cole, they were 30 and 36. They climbed inside the truck to get dry. And there are two theories about what happened. One is that it just accidentally slipped. The other theory is that someone walked by and flipped the switch. These two men were ground up with the garbage. Human life being destroyed like that is just, it's unthinkable. That's what happened that really set off the sanitation workers' strike. But I just remember saying, we, students, will go and assist with the march. By then, Black people, white people, every other ethnicity saw the hope that was building. Dr. King had won the Nobel Peace Prize in 1964. He got the 1964 Civil Rights Act passed, the 1965 Voting Rights Act passed. There was momentum in getting things done, and we saw hope. Meetings were just fueled by preaching and praying and singing and getting you ready. The march erupted in a riot. 10 thugs began to stand at the back of the line and throw rocks. People hear rumblings and stuff. It was just chaos. Down on the ground, there were police dogs and police officers, fire hoses, and we were in order. But these 10 thugs knew what their assignments were. Once that got going, it was a horrible, horrible happening. Dr. King was at the head of the line. They whisked him away. He said, I am not here for this. I am going back to Atlanta. And when you all get it together, make some peace with your mayor, I'll be back. What we did not know was that be back was exactly 7 days later. That night, people were, we like King. We said, I've been to the mountain now. I may not get there with you, But we as a people will get to the promised land. We did not know that the very next day his lights would be extinguished. I left Memphis at the end of that semester. I got married in 71, had my daughter in 74. Now I'm a wife and a mother. Kim was with IBM. They said, we want to promote you, but in order to do that, you've got to move. Great things were happening to me, and yet all that stuff behind me was still in me. Darkness can't drive out darkness. Only light can do that. Hate can't drive out hate. Only love can do that. So says Dr. Martin Luther King. So in 1995, I began doing Martin Luther King celebrations at the Front Range Community College campus and at Second Baptist Church, where I've been a member for the last 44 years, and now I'm on the ministerial staff there. The dream is bigger than ever. Have a dream that one day the sons of former slaves and the sons of former slave owners will sit down at the table of brotherhood. And it's simple. Treat me like you want to be treated. Treat your fellow neighbor like you want them to be treated. We need each other, and the more we get to know each other, the better we can assimilate among ourselves and each other is the way I see it. So we all in this together. You can count me out today, but I may show up tomorrow. And I'm ready for the fight. Thank you everyone for coming. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for sharing in the, I'm going to say in the fight. I've been trying to prepare remarks and they just didn't come yesterday on paper. And I have nothing today on paper. So I'll just share a few things from my heart. One thing is, in 1995, my husband and I had the contract at Front Range Community College. And I had a conversation with Gay Hampton. We're talking 30 years. Oh, there's Gay. Stand up, Gay. We're 30 years later. And then Andy Jarash. Is Andy here? Andy and his son were there yesterday. Andy was teaching history, 1865 to the present. There's another whole story about that. On NPR I said that I got an F in history. That's kind of funny. I just feel like I'm living history. And so it was a very racial thing, the reason that I got. The professor stood in front of an auditorium kind of like this, probably 50 students, and he said there were 2 black students in the class, me and Willie Johnson. And he just said randomly, I want you people to know that the most you can make, the 2 of us, in my class, is a C. Why? Because every colored person that I know and that I have seen and in my circle and around the world can only be average. Me wishing that the floor would open up and swallow me up in it, just sat there spellbound. And I'm thinking, now as I look back, and so we have to be so careful about what we say to our younger people. You know, forming and shaping these things, this self-image in our children. As Dr. King and others said, we're somebody. We are, and never let anybody snuff that somebodiness out of you. We're all great because we're created in my faith tradition in the image of God. Uh-oh, I feel the preach coming on. I better slow down. But everybody is somebody in the sight of God. I want to say this too. My family is here. My family came from everywhere. This is my son, who grew up right here in the St. Vrain Valley School District, graduated from Longmont High, graduated from the University of Kansas on a full scholarship. Other people can only be average. What? This is my daughter and her husband. They live in Atlanta. They've been married 24 years. She went to, and they all went to Longmont School. She went to Longmont Junior High. I think now it's Sunset Middle, maybe. And they went to Faith Baptist. And then she graduated from Longmont High as well. Also, CU Buffalo. Go Buffs! And she's been teaching in Atlanta for 17 years. 18 years. I'm so proud of my children and that they did come up through the ranks in the St. Vrain Valley School District. Thank you. And so fast forward, that Greg's from New York. He's from the other side of New York. My son-in-law, Greg, I'm so proud of all of them. And then my two grandchildren, twins, London and Lincoln, stand up. They're 8 years old. They go to Stellar Elementary School in Northland, Colorado. So anyhow, we have to be careful about the things that we say to our young people. And fast forwarding that, Eric, it's been an amazing thing to work with you these last 11 years. We started out, Carmen, let me go back 20 years ago now. Carmen invited me to come to City Council chambers of Longmont 20 years ago in 2005. And just share the story. Of course, when I have a story, gotta have some good old hand clapping, toe tapping, moving to the rhythm of the beat, soul music, gospel music. And so we brought that into the City Council chambers 20 years ago in 2005. And so between Front Range and the city of Longmont, we were able to do that. And here we are 30 years later, still talking, unfortunately, still talking about racism and freedom and love and bigotry and hatred and all of those things. Dr. King did say darkness can't drive out darkness, only light can do that. Hate can't drive out hate, only love can do that. And then he said, I've decided to choose love because hate is too great a burden to bear. Yeah. So as we go forward, Dr. King, John Lewis, and Dr. William Barber also said that each of us, we look at things and then we say somebody ought to do something about this something. But the real matter is they challenged us and said that each of us has a moral responsibility to do something when we see things that are not right and that are going in the wrong direction. It's not my job. It's your job as much as it is my job to say something and do something. Dr. Haddad, thank you for all that you've allowed in the St. Vrain Valley School District. We appreciate that. And I know that we're supposed to talk further. That talk is about 2 years later. We'll get there. But you guys are doing everything locally, nationally, and internationally as a testament to these three presenters here today. We thank you for all of that. And thank you to the beloved community.
Congratulations, Linda. We'll get to share the mic here in a little bit, but it's just been such a pleasure for many years working with you and for many years to come. So our program today, Dream Makers, Mile Markers, and Milestones. We have some additional Dream Makers that are here with us today. And I'd like to introduce Callista Montera Fitzsilva. She's a junior in high school at Peak High School, and she enjoys being creative and expresses it through music, art, baking, writing, and sewing. She is well-traveled, developing great appreciation for other cultures. She sees Dr. King as an example of someone who can be rooted in his own experience while valuing the gift that others bring to creating a more just and peaceful world, prophetic from such a young person. So I'd like to welcome at this time Callista Montera Fitzsilva as our poetic voice today.
My name is Tomorrow. Today, I stand in the power of the present, holding on to the reins of the past, connecting us to a bright tomorrow. I stand to grab hold of the torch that bears Dr. King's dream, a dream that allows me to stand in proxy to represent all those in my generation, all those in my age group, which represent tomorrow. I stand to remind us that as we look back down through the annals of time, we must be grateful. We must remember to maintain an attitude of gratitude. We must remember to always say, thank you. Thank you, Dr. King, for your amazing dream. Thank you to all our ancestors on whose shoulders we humbly stand. Thank you for teaching us nonviolence as an unprecedented way to win. Thank you for teaching us the power of faith and how to pray and persevere through all of life's adversities. Thank you for weathering storms of the past that sustain us even to this day. Thank you for blazing trails and opening new doors of opportunity. Thank you for reminding us that though there may be difficult days ahead, troubles like we've never known before, we have a purpose, we have a hope, we have a great expectation for peace in our nation. I stand as a reflection of today, holding on to the wisdom of yesterday, giving us hope against all odds for a brighter tomorrow. By Pastor Juanita Strong Matthews, Messages from the Heart Collection, Long Beach, California.
We have some more dream makers that are with us here today, and they're going to share their story. It's with great pleasure that I introduce these scholars. Along with Ms. Silva, these young scholars are the dream makers of our current generation. They are achieving and reaching milestones of their own, and we're honored to introduce Ibrahim Kabul. Ibrahim is a high school senior and pioneer in the Raptor Tech program at Silver Creek High School, earning his high school diploma and associate's degree in cybersecurity from Front Range Community College. Ibrahim immigrated from West Africa in 2018 and is a multi-sport athlete in football, wrestling, and track. Recently, he completed an internship at Comcast. Welcome, Ibrahim Kabul.
17 years old, and I was born in Burkina Faso, West Africa, and grew up in a family compound. When I was 6, my father left for America. I remember that day when he was leaving. I told him, "Dad, where are you going?" He told me that he was going on a short trip and that he'd be back really soon. But in reality, he had moved to America so that he could provide opportunities for his children that he was never able to get back in Africa. When I was 11, my family and I left Africa for China. Leaving meant saying goodbye to everything that was familiar to me. My friends, my cousins, and especially my grandmother. I didn't know much about America at the time, but I knew I'd be getting opportunities that I could never imagine back in Africa. Coming to America gave me the opportunity to learn how to speak and write English while adapting to a new language. But the transition wasn't easy. I was the only black kid in my class and didn't know a thing when I first came to English beyond knowing how to say good morning and goodbye. That was all I knew. Being able to adjust to a completely different language while being in a completely different environment, all overcoming the language barrier, has taught me about resilience, patience, and the true importance of perseverance. One of the most inspiring things I learned more about while being in America is the story of a man who had a dream, Martin Luther King Jr. I knew of him from my grandmother. She told me he was a man that wanted change. But at the time, he was just some guy to me, somebody who once hoped for a better future. But being in America allowed me to witness the impacts of his dream. I could see how his voice had amplified the hopes of millions, inspiring people that wanted justice and equality. Dr. King's dream was not just his own, it was a dream of many. After moving here, I realized how fortunate I was to learn without discrimination, despite my skin color being different and the language barrier. Most people were really kind to me and even try to reach out. That is in contrast to how my father grew up. He grew up in a small village where education was seen as luxury. There were days where he'd go without food and even had to find his own meals. For him, school was just by the top. He went from being a kid in Africa, that saw school as luxury, to being able to come to America and strive for a fair education to make his own way in life, an opportunity that he would never imagine for Dr. King's dream. In the past, at the time, there weren't many opportunities for people of color in America. Discrimination towards people of color was rooted into everyday life, making access to education, jobs, and even basic rights very hard to come across. Segregation created a society where people were not judged by the content of their character, but by the color of their skin. I don't believe I would have even had the chance to stand here today and share my story if Dr. King's dream was not realized. Today I strive to carry this dream in my everyday action because I know it's an opportunity that people in the past didn't get. I believe that his dream is still being realized through every one of us, all of our everyday actions and how we interact with people. I try to treat everyone with kindness and respect because you believe that equality starts with how we treat one another. The thing today, 30 years of dream makers, mile makers, and milestones. I will use my own stories to highlight these ideals. I'm participating in a program called Rapid. I was selected by my middle school teacher as a candidate. This summer, I had the opportunity to participate in an internship at Comcast program. I shadowed in network analysis and managed to gain some hands-on experience managing federal rules and policies. My goal at the internship was to learn about the workplace environment in the tech industry and just to know if it was a path for me that I wanted to take in the future. I met some incredible people that shared their wisdom with me and even taught me how to create and polish my LinkedIn profile, which might seem like a small thing, but is a really significant step towards my future. Thinking back on this opportunity, I'm reminded of Martin Luther King Jr.'s dream. His vision for equality gave the opportunity for someone like me to stand here today and share my story while pursuing my goals for a better future. His dream was more than a vision. It became a reality that still shapes lives, mine included. My father was brought us to America to fulfill his dream of providing better opportunities for his children. He's a dream maker, and like others you will hear from today, have taken up that mantle as well. With every step of this journey, we are hoping to fulfill the dreams of Dr. King. Here to further explain what that dream looks like today and how Dr. King's dream has impacted people, the present, is Emily Bernes Morel.
freshman at Boulder High, I like to go play soccer and generally be outside at night. My parents immigrated from the United States to from Mexico. Today I will be speaking about the present and Dr. King's impact on the present day, especially how the world would be if Dr. King didn't exist. How would I feel and be without Dr. King? First, we talk about who Dr. King was. Dr. King was an African-American minister and activist fighting for the rights of Black people and people of color. His I Have a Dream speech changed the world and how we see it, bringing the light of inequality in America and to suffering who he was fighting for. How would my life be different if Dr. King never gave that speech? Without Dr. King, I would wake up in a completely different house and family that was all white because many people would be sick. And this would make me upset because I love my family and I would like to spend time with them. I wouldn't be able to enjoy things that I really like that are in my culture, like beans and yeah. Because our culture would be the same. Many of the foods are enjoyed are affected by multiple cultures that wouldn't be present without the ideas of Dr. King presented. My average day would be different as well. I went into the school bus to sit with my friends, but wouldn't be allowed because under Jim Crow laws, my people of color were forced to stay in the back of the bus. Without my friends, school would be even more boring. When I got to school, they wouldn't be teaching about Black Lives Matter movement or some of the things that Dr. King did. And without his lesson, they would be treated very differently. I would go out and eat my lunch in the cafe. I would be sad that all my friends wouldn't be able to sit together and the food would be diverse. The world would be colorless without Dr. King's speech. Everywhere you went, there would be only people of the same race. All the things that I like to do would not be allowed. For example, if I wanted to play soccer or play video games with my friends, it wouldn't be allowed because the game might have a separation or it might not exist. Along with many other things, if Dr. King hasn't done his speech and announced the whole world that racism is bad and wrong. After all, if Dr. King's speech had not happened, people would have been more afraid to fight for their rights and speak freely or do things like everyone else. There was a major change after the speech. People started changing their way about other people's races, which made a huge change in history, but there is still work to be done for security and justice. Every example I give you today represents a mile marker in how far we came since Dr. King gave his speech. But mile markers are only to show us how far we come, but how far we have to go. Jordan Rose will pick up from here and discuss whether he will be in the future.
Thank you. When writing the speech, I believed that I was here to represent my generation. Now this in part is true, but it doesn't tell the whole story. I'm here to represent humanity, to share a message. Now humanity has something that is truly amazing. We have the power to shape the future. Each and every person in this room has this power. Everybody in the outside world has this power. Every second of every day, we have this power. I'm so honored to be here with you all today in memory of Dr. King. I'd like to start by sharing a little bit about myself and the journey that brought me here. I'm a 17-year-old black student living in Longmont, Colorado, but my story is deeply rooted in the past and the present. My family comes from Louisiana, a place full of rich culture, good food, resilience, and history. While my family's roots are tied to the South, I was born in Colorado. Before I was born, my mother moved our family to Colorado to give her sons and her family a chance to thrive. Colorado is a state that has given me the space to grow, explore, and cultivate the curiosity that defines who I am today. From as far back as I can remember, I've always been curious. I wasn't just the kid that asked, why does this work? I was the kid that had to go and find out and make it work on my own. That curiosity wasn't just a passing phase. It was the foundation of everything I love to do. Growing up, and honestly still today, I was fascinated by the world of superheroes. Characters who use their creativity and their ingenuity to make the impossible possible. I spent countless hours sketching designs, tinkering with paper, tape, and popsicle sticks, and whatever I could get my hands on, trying to bring my favorite fictional inventions to life. Whether it was building my own Iron Man helmet or crafting Spider-Man web shooters, I loved the challenge of taking an idea from my imagination and turning it into something real. Looking back, those early experiments weren't just play. They are a reflection of the way I see the world, as a place full of problems, waiting for creative solutions. And that drive to create hasn't left me. If anything, it's only grown stronger. Today, I carry that same excitement for building, exploring, and figuring things out. That curiosity has led me into so many areas of my life. Whether it's working on a new project, tackling a challenge, or simply learning something new, has taught me that no problem is too big if you approach it with the right mindset and the willingness to try. I've learned to see obstacles not as roadblocks, but as opportunities to grow, innovate, to push myself. This perspective has shaped more than just my hobbies. It shaped my identity and the way I move through this world. It's a mindset that connects deeply to the values we're celebrating today. The idea of using our creativity, resilience, and determination to build a better future. When I was in elementary school, my teacher told us to write an essay about a great historical figure. I chose Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. for this essay, and this is when I first learned of his dream. So what does the dream mean to me? That's the question I was asked to answer. On August 28, 1963, Martin Luther King Jr. stepped up to the Lincoln Memorial alongside 250,000 other people and shared history. That is, those 4 little children would one day live in a nation where they are not judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. I've spent the last 17 years of my life building my character and building who I am today. I believe that our nation, America, and the world as a whole are trying to achieve Martin Luther King Jr.'s dream. We are trying. Every day I try to improve my character, try to be the best person I can be, and try to help make our world a better place. But trying isn't always easy. It means facing challenges, making mistakes and learning from them. It means recognizing that progress isn't always linear. For me, that journey involved stepping outside of my comfort zone, taking on leadership roles, and speaking in front of crowds like you all, pursuing opportunities that others might overlook. I've had the privilege of interning as a software developer and creating tools to solve real-world problems. But that didn't happen without long days of debugging code, reworking ideas, and sometimes starting over completely. Each of these moments has taught me that perseverance is just as important as talent, and that success is often built on a foundation of small, unseen victories. Trying also means staying committed to growth, even when the path isn't clear. It's about saying yes to challenges. Every step I take is one more step toward the future Dr. King dreamed of, a future shaped by character and courage. But Martin Luther King Jr.'s dream isn't just about one individual achieving greatness. It's about creating a world where everybody has the opportunity to thrive. It's about people like Gladys Mae West, a black woman who revolutionized the tech industry despite the systemic barriers she faced. Gladys Mae West developed the mathematical models that became the basis for GPS technology, something billions of people use daily. Her contributions are monumental, but her story also highlights how difficult the tech industry can be for black individuals. Even today, black professionals face underrepresentation, implicit bias, and systemic obstacles in tech. It's not just about being talented. It's about being persistent in the face of adversity. Gladys Mae West didn't just try, she succeeded, breaking through ceilings so that others like me could dream of entering tech and making our own impact. Her story, much like Dr. King's dream, inspires me to believe that our efforts, big or small, matter. It reminds me that the dream is alive in every step we take towards equality, every act of kindness, and every moment of courage. For me, the dream is about community and service. It's about using the skills I've built through programming to uplift others. It's about empowering the next generation of dreamers, those who might see the world not as it is, but as it could be. So what does the dream mean to me? It means trying. Trying to build a better future. Trying to become a person of character. Trying, even when the road feels long, because as Dr. King once said, faith is taking the first step, even when you don't see the whole staircase. Today, I stand here still building my staircase, still trying. I invite all of you to do the same. Thank you.
Excellent. I was feeling a little overwhelmed because of the success of this program and what our young people are doing, and I'd like to invite back Ibrahim, Emiliano, and Jarvin, if you can come up to the stage. I want to share with you, Emiliano, if you didn't catch it, he's a 14-year-old freshman at Boulder High School. He's interested in coding, soccer, video games, as he talked about. And he believes that Dr. King's dream is that all races will be united. Additionally, Jarvin, he's a senior here, and he's a pioneer. He is a dream maker. He is a milestone, along with Ibrahim, in our P-TECH program at Silver Creek, which about 7 years ago, we hatched this idea that students would have, at no cost to them, the ability to earn their associates in cybersecurity. And we wanted to break down some of the barriers that we saw within the industry as well. And I'd like to thank Karen Morris and also Carmen Rapino for their assistance with Jarvin and also with Ibrahim. Now, Jarvin will earn his high school diploma and that associate's degree this spring. And he's completed over 60 hours of community service. He has earned awards for leadership, for innovation. He also interned at Comcast, where he developed Python. It's a coding language, all right? But he used Python in a way to make sales reporting smarter. So here he was, as a 17-year-old student, working with a Fortune 500 company along with Ibrahim, solving the problems of the world to ensure that we all have access to technology. So, again, very especially from the committee that plans our events here. I knew that it's a stretch to ask young men and young women to be, our keynotes and to present. For many years, Glenda and I have talked about the idea of how we involve youth in this. And I thought, no greater time than this year. We have such wonderful students throughout our area, and it's a pleasure on behalf of the Martin Luther King Jr. Planning Committee of Boulder County to present to you in recognition of your outstanding commitment to excellence and dedication and to participating in this 30th anniversary program as our keynote speakers.
Wow. You three make us happy and give us hope. I'm so happy. I think you're coming to almost a close here, huh?
Well,
Let's see.
we have a huge mile marker.
All right, so I'd like to take this opportunity to welcome Madeline Strong-Whitley to the podium to talk to a little bit about, a really big, important thing that happened in Boulder County, our MLK highway designation. This is pretty amazing when you think about the permanence and the reminder of what this represents. So our executive committee member from the NAACP, Madeline Strong-Whitley, but before she comes up, I would also like to ask, some of you probably know that Madeline is a legend and related to a legend, the sister of a legend, and there's some other relatives of our legend in the audience that we'd like to recognize. So I would ask that the Strong Robinsons that we have visiting us stand so that we can properly say thank you for joining us and allowing us to have
Thank you, President James and Principal Finstad, and thank you for being here. Despite the weather and the challenges that we all faced this morning, I just want to honor you for being here. I see so many faces that we've worked with over the years. Congratulations to my sister Glenda on a much-deserved award. This work is challenging but yet rewarding. I see Marta. Where is Marta? Doris Moreno. El Comite, founder. Marta, stand up. Did you step out? All right, well, most of you probably know Marta, and she's an agent of change. Yes. What I'm here to introduce, you're going to see the video that we created but to give you a little background. The highway, US Highway 36, through the great works of Graham Hill, a real visionary, and my partner, with U.S. Representative Junie Joseph, worked on this, created the bill, and ultimately in January, it's been about a year now, I think, we went before the U.S. House of Representatives and the Senate, who voted unanimously to make that change. It started with the vision, and it was the vision of Graham Hill and Junie Joseph that actually went through it, made it happen, and of course we all rallied in the Boulder County branch NAACP, led by President James, the best branch in the nation. Best leader in the nation. We rallied behind them and made it happen. I want to say, our future is now, young people. I'm so proud of you. Oh my goodness. 14, 15, 16, you got your whole lives ahead of you, and we're depending on you. And you can do it. So to the rest of us, I say get ready. So be ready so you don't have to get ready. And you're ready. And to the rest of us, I say, just like Graham and Junie had that vision and they put that call to action into work, yes, they did. And we all have the opportunity and ability to do the same, using the same energy. We have the opportunity to get those kinds of results. But it starts with our individual calls to action. So I will leave you with that. you each have a call to action. Take it very personally, make it happen. You're never too old. You're just good, you're just great as you are right now. You'll just get greater. Hang in there and make it happen, because that it's up to us. And I mean that with everything in me. It's up to us. We are the ones responsible. With that, Jeremy, roll it.
Yo, Highway 36 is a path to remember. Dr. King's legacy, we're igniting the ember. On October 24, the whole town's alive. Bullets heart beats strong, we gonna thrive. Together we stand united in grace. Celebrating justice, this is our place. Highway 36, where we'll mark the day. In Dr. King's name, we'll light the way. Together as one, we'll rise and sing. On Boulder's road, let the joy take wing. With signs and chants, we'll march and sing, honoring the dream, let freedom live. From the valley to the peaks, we raise our voice. In unity we find hope, we rejoice. Let the bells ring out, let the echoes flow. For love and peace, this community will grow. Highway 36, where we'll mark the day. In Dr. King's name, we'll light the way. Together as one, we'll rise and sing. On Boulder's road, let the joy take wing. Let the bells ring out, let the echoes flow. For love and peace, this community will grow. So come and join us, let's make a stand. In the spirit of love, we'll hold hands. Highway 36, where we'll mark the day. In Dr. King's name, we'll light the way. Together, we'll light the way. Together, we'll light the way. I wanna join us. Let's make a stand. In the spirit of love, we'll hold hands. Yo, Highway 36 is a path to remember. Dr. King's legacy, we're igniting the ember. On October 24, the whole town's alive. Boulder's heart beats strong, we gonna thrive. Together we stand united in grace. Celebrating justice, this is our place. Highway 36, where we'll mark the day. In Dr. King's name, we'll light the way. Together as one, we'll rise and sing. On Boulder's road, let the joy take wing. With signs and chants, we'll march and sing, honoring the dream, let freedom live. From the valley to the peaks, we raise our voice. In unity we find hope, we rejoice. Let the bells ring out, let the echoes flow. For love and peace, this community will grow. Highway 36, where we'll mark the day. In Dr. King's name, we'll light the way. Together as one, we'll rise and sing. On Boulder's road, let the joy take wing. Let the bells ring out, let the echoes flow. For love and peace, this community will grow. So come and join us, let's make a stand. In the spirit of love, we'll hold hands. Highway 36, where we'll mark the day. In Dr. King's name, we'll light the way. Together, we'll light the way. Together, we'll light the way. I wanna join us. Let's make a stand. In the spirit of love, we'll hold hands. this is a path to remember. Dr. King's legacy, we're igniting the ember. On October 24, the whole town's alive. All those heartbeats strong. We gonna...
Thank you all for joining in today's celebration of the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. There's no place else that you could have been than to be here today to pay an honor, a tribute to Dr. King. I'd like to welcome up any members from our executive committee from the NAACP Boulder County, Darren and Ms. Bell and John, and Veronica. I'd like to offer special thanks to the Longline community and to, of course, Principal Benestad and the Scotland, Silver Creek. That one. Silver Creek for allowing us to be in their space and being such great hosts. I also like to just say a special thanks to your superintendent, Dr. Haddad, the NAACP. We, through our education committee, reach out to him frequently, and he's always ready and willing to support the work, and that he's shown us that he's certainly committed to the Black students in this district. Is oftentimes because of a lot of reasons, but one that's often given is because of our demographics, because we have so few students, it's so easy to get overlooked, and he comes through and makes sure that our students are being seen. So thank you so much for that.
Would you like to provide any words of closing? I mean, no, you first. Well, I'll just say that you've been a terrific mentor for many years, and I hope there's many more years to come. You've invited my family, into this event. You've invited our school district into this event, myself, our kids, and I'm just incredibly grateful. And to reflect upon, all that we've done, and to reflect upon that which Dr. King said is the beloved community, to see our students in action, throughout the St. Ray Valley schools, to see our students in action here at Silver Creek is testament to building a better future and a brighter future for everyone, built of opportunity where we can be judged upon the content of our
character. This has become my brother from another mother. We do great things together. I couldn't do it without you.
We do. The irony doesn't leave me that I'm, a white man in this position, but at the same time, to be welcomed, truly to be welcomed by you at this table is a great feat.
Yes, I remember when I gifted you with this kente cloth, and I said, last year I think, I said, well, I'm not wearing kente cloth, I'm wearing black velvet, and so you can just wear a suit. He's like, I'm wearing my kente cloth, which I draped him as a symbol of unity. And we gotta come together. Helen Keller, who was blind. Young people, do y'all know who Helen Keller was? The Helen Keller story? She said, simply, together, we can do more. So together, we can do more.
Everybody stand up. We've got a little lead us in this little light of mine today.
And as the program ends, continue to let your light so shine. This little light of mine.